Welcome to a journey into the shadows, where the line between myth and terror blurs. Tonight, we delve into the enigmatic world of vampires, those timeless creatures of the night that have haunted our tales and nightmares for centuries. From ancient folklore to the silver screen, vampires captivate us with their chilling presence and mysterious allure. In this exploration, we'll uncover the origins of these mythical beings, trace their evolution across different cultures, and reveal how they continue to influence modern media and popular culture. So grab your garlic and silver, just in case, as we step into the darkness to discover the true essence of the vampire, a symbol of fear, fascination, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. Not to mention a reminder to always check who's at the door at night. Vampires, often depicted as the epitome of nocturnal elegance, grace the annals of folklore with their pale skin and piercing eyes. These creatures are not just known for their bloodlust, but for their hauntingly aristocratic demeanor, clothed in vestiges of bygone eras, making them both terrifying and mesmerizing. Their signature fangs are not merely tools of terror, but badges of their otherworldly nature, designed perfectly for their nocturnal haunts. The powers of a vampire extend far beyond the mundane, imbuing them with abilities that fuel their mythic status. These include superhuman strength, granting them the might to overpower their prey, and immortality, a trait that captures our fear and fascination with death. Their hypnotic powers, capable of bending the will of the unwary, only add to their allure and danger, making them formidable predators hidden behind a veneer of allure. Vampires have haunted the human psyche far earlier than many realize, with their shadows lurking in the legends of ancient civilizations. In Egypt, tales whispered of creatures thirsting for blood, and in Greece, stories of the Vrikolakas mingled with the living, blurring the lines between life and death. These primordial echoes of vampire-like entities set the stage for a mythology rich in horror and fascination. Central to the vampire's mythological tapestry is the tale of Vlad the Impaler, a figure whose ruthless tactics and name, Dracula, would inspire Bram Stoker's legendary character. This merging of historical brutality with supernatural horror created a compelling narrative that cemented the vampire's place in popular culture. The tale of Dracula isn't just a story of fear, it's a cultural mirror reflecting our collective unease with mortality and the moral decay of society. Across different eras and societies, the vampire has often been a symbol of the outsider, embodying the fears and anxieties of the unknown. In medieval Europe, vampires were feared as much for their supposed malevolence as they were for what they represented, a perversion of the human form, a reminder of the plague and the ever-present threat of death. Such figures were not only a means to explain the unexplainable, but also a way to address the deeper, often unspoken fears of society. As the vampire myth traveled across continents, each culture adapted the legend to fit local fears and superstitions. From the rigor mortis-stricken Zhang of China, known for their distinctive hopping movement and predilection for draining life force, to the Caribbean's Sukuyan, a sinister figure that sheds its skin to suck the blood of the sleeping, these variations showcase the diverse interpretations of vampirism. The evolution of the vampire myth is a testament to its universal appeal. In the Renaissance, the depiction leaned towards demonic entities, a stark contrast to the romanticized nobility of the Victorian era, epitomized by Bram Stoker's Dracula. This iconic novel set the stage for modern vampire fiction, influencing an array of media, from films to graphic novels, each adding layers to the vampire's portrayal. Further exploring regional variations, we see a stark contrast in how vampires are depicted. Eastern European myths often feature the strigoi, a creature that can appear as a normal human by day, but transforms into a predatory ghoul by night. In contrast, the Slavic Volkodlak shares traits with werewolves, blurring the lines between wolf and vampire in local folklore. These regional adaptations extend into how vampires are integrated into cultural narratives. For instance, in some African myths, vampires are more spiritually oriented, involved in rituals and serving as a bridge between the living and the supernatural, unlike their Western counterparts who are often bound by physical limitations, like the need to avoid sunlight. While vampires captivate our imagination, they are not alone in their nocturnal reign. Across different mythologies, creatures like werewolves and ghouls share the night, each with its own fearsome reputation. Werewolves, cursed to transform under the full moon, embody the struggle between man's civilized nature and primal instincts, a theme often intertwined with the vampire's struggle between human and monster. Ghouls, scavengers of the dead, often appear in tales alongside vampires, sharing their macabre appetite but lacking the vampire's seductive allure. These creatures crawl from their graves or haunt desolate places, feeding on corpses, drawing a stark contrast to the more aristocratic depictions of vampires. Yet both are bound by a thematic connection to death and the afterlife. Comparing these creatures highlights a fascinating aspect of folklore: how different cultures use myths to explore common fears. While vampires often symbolize the fear of the unknown and the seductive allure of power, werewolves represent the loss of control, and ghouls remind us of the inevitability of death. Together, they form a mythological tapestry that speaks to our deepest anxieties about morality, mortality, and what lurks in the shadows. In the realm of modern media, vampires have transcended the boundaries of folklore to become icons of contemporary storytelling. Interview with the Vampire brings a complex emotional depth to these creatures of the night, presenting them as tragic figures caught between eternal life and the loss of their humanity. Meanwhile, Buffy the Vampire Slayer reinvents the vampire myth, portraying these beings not just as monsters, but as characters with their own stories, challenges, and a surprising capacity for change. Vampires continue to captivate the public's imagination, infiltrating popular culture far beyond the confines of horror. From Halloween costumes that celebrate their mystique to high-fashion lines inspired by their gothic elegance, vampires maintain a firm grip on our collective aesthetic and entertainment choices. This enduring appeal speaks to their versatility as symbols of rebellion, seduction, and the perennial human fascination with the forbidden. The educational value of these modern portrayals cannot be understated. Through their immortal lens, vampires challenge viewers to explore complex moral landscapes, question societal norms, and confront the notion of immortality itself. These stories encourage audiences to reflect on what it means to be human in a world where the lines between right and wrong are often blurred. As we grapple with these themes, vampires serve as a mirror to our own desires, fears, and ethical dilemmas, making them not only timeless figures of folklore, but also relevant guides through the intricacies of modern life. As we continue to watch, read, and engage with these immortal beings, we are invited to consider deeper questions about identity, power, and the consequences of our choices. Vampires, in all their shadowy glory, not only entertain but also inspire us to reflect on the darkness and light within us all. As we close the coffin lid on our exploration of vampires, we're left with a richer understanding of these enigmatic creatures that haunt the edges of both our nightmares and fantasies. From ancient myths etched in the walls of forgotten tombs to their charismatic portrayals on the silver screen, vampires continue to evolve, capturing our imaginations and reflecting our deepest fears and desires. They challenge us to confront the darkness within and navigate the moral complexities of our existence. What aspects of the vampire myth do you find most intriguing? Are there particular stories or representations that have changed your perception of these nocturnal beings? Share your thoughts and join the conversation below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the myths and legends that shape our world. Until next time, keep the garlic handy, and remember, the most compelling stories are often those that lurk in the shadows, waiting to be unearthed.